Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. How can you create a graven image of something you have never seen? Majority of the world falls into idolatry by what their eyes can see. Satan knows this, and he is subtle. In Genesis chapter 3, verse 1, we will see, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yah Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have Elohim said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? The scripture says that when a woman saw that the tree was good for food, keyword, saw, Yah commanded that we should not make idols representing anything in heaven or the earth beneath, or any animals. The nations began to worship the sun, moon, and stars because of the beauty, and also the things they do for earth, such as give light, heat, and various other things. Let's read Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yah speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus say Yah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of the heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. They began to make images and gods for the sun, moon, and star worship as they still do today. They couldn't make these images if they never saw them. Israel began to make up in their minds through the deception of Satan that these images possessed some ability to save them or could give them good luck. Let's read Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 12 through 13. Therefore, thus say Yah, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not listen unto them. Then shall the cities of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem go, and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense. But they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. The heart and mind is deceitful above all, as we read in Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? The ancient Egyptians were some of the biggest idol worshippers ever. They worshiped their cats, dogs, crocodiles, cows, and a long list of gods who were supposedly guiding and protecting them in their land. But Yah proved to Egypt and the Israelites that the idols and gods of Egypt were lifeless, and what spirits the Egyptians worshiped and conjured. He was in control of them, as we read in Exodus chapter 3, verse 19 through 21. And I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go. No, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when you go, you shall not go empty. Exodus chapter 6, verses 6 through 8 also says, wherefore, say unto the children of Israel, I am Yah, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage. And I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a Elohim. And you shall know that I am Yah your Elohim, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. And I will bring you in unto the land, concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And I will give it you for an heritage. I am Yah. This is why Yah was very angry with them when they created a golden Egyptian cow in the wilderness and claimed it as their God, after they saw with their own eyes what happened to the Egyptians by the hands of Yah. Israel kept falling into idolatry when they saw the gold carved statues of Canaan. The foolishness of idolatry is that the items that people idolize are lifeless and does not have a spirit. They are dead items. Psalms chapter 115 verses 4 through 8. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throat. They that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusteth in them. The ultimate folly of idolatry is that mankind worship and idolize things they can create with their own hands. Let's read Isaiah chapter 44, verses 10 through 20. Who hath formed a god, or molten a graven image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen, they are of men. Let them all be gathered together. Let them stand up, yet they shall fear, and they shall be ashamed together. The smith with the tongues both worketh in the coals, and fashioneth it with hammers, and worketh it with the strength of his arms. Yea, he is hungry, and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water, and is faint. The carpenter stretcheth out his rule. He marketh it out with the line. He fitteth it with the planes. He marketh it out with the compass, and maketh it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in the house. He heweth him down cedars, and taketh the cypress and the oak, which he strengtheneth himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain do nourish it. Then shall it be for a man to burn. For will he take thereof, and warm himself? Yea, he kindleth it, and baketh bread. Yea, he maketh a god, and worship it. He maketh it a graven image, and fall down thereto. He burneth part thereof in the fire. With a part thereof he eateth flesh. He roasteth roast, and is satisfied. Yea, he warmeth himself, and say, Aha, I am warm, I have seen the fire. And the residue thereof he maketh a god, even his graven image. He fall down unto it, and worship it, and pray unto it, and say, Deliver me, for you are my God. They have not known, nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes, that they cannot see, and their hearts, that they cannot understand. And none consider in his heart, neither is there knowledge, nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire. Yea, also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh, and eateth it. And shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stock of a tree? He feedeth on ashes. A deceived heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, Is there not a lie in my right hand? Idolizing men or yourself is foolish as well. We don't even know whether we will live or die 30 minutes from now. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 5 proves it. Thus say Yah, Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from Yah. Idols are things or people you love and trust more than Yah. Psalm chapter 40 verse 4 says, Blessed is that man that maketh Yah his trust, and respect not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Money itself is not an idol. The patriarch Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were all rich. In fact, Yah gave it to them. Yah promised the Israelites, our ancestors, that they would in fact be very rich if they obeyed his commandments, as we read in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 12 through 13. Wherefore, it shall come to pass, if you hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that Yah, your Elohim, shall keep unto you the covenant and the mercy which he swore unto your fathers. And he will love you, and bless you, and multiply you. He will also bless the fruit of your womb, and the fruit of your land, thy corn, and thy wine, and thine oil, the increase of your kind, and the flocks of your sheep, and the land which he sware unto your fathers to give you. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 11 through 18. Beware that thou forget not Yah thy Elohim, and not keeping his commandments, and his judgments, and his statutes, which I command you this day, lest when you have eaten and are full, and have built goodly houses and dwell therein, and when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold is multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, then your heart be lifted up, and you forget Yah thy Elohim, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who led you through the great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water, Who brought you forth water out of the rock of flint? Who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers knew not, that he might humble you, and that he might prove you, to do you good at the latter end? And thou say in your heart, my power and the might of my hand have gotten me this wealth. But thou shalt remember Yah thy Elohim, for it is he that giveth you power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto your fathers, as it is this day. Yah never intended for his people to be poor and impoverished. This happened to Israel because of disobedience. Money becomes an idol when people trust in money and their riches and their possessions over Yah, as we read in Psalm chapter 49, verses 1 through 10. Hear this, all you people. Give ear, all you inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor, together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heel shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to Elohim a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever, that he should still live forever, and not see corruption. For he see that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. When people believe their lives are only about making money and obtaining possessions, that's serving mammon. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Elohim and mammon. Therefore, I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Christmas trees decorated with gold and silver. Thus say Yah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of the heavens. For the heathen are dismayed at them, for the custom of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but they speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Santa Claus, Easter bunnies, Valentine's Day. These days seem to be fun, right? But they are evil. But they are alluring to the eyes. With their bright colors and decorations, this is how the enemy deceives us, as we read in Ezekiel chapter 6, verses 8 through 10. Yet will I leave a remnant, that you may have some that will escape the sword among the nations, when you shall be scattered through the countries. And they that escape of you shall remember me among the nations, whither they shall be carried captives. Because I am broken with their whorish heart, which have departed from me, and with their eyes, which go a-whoring after their idols. And they shall loathe themselves for the evils which they have committed in all their abominations. And they shall know that I am Yah, and that I have not said in vain, that I will do this evil unto them. The world that we live in today convinces the mind of people to believe that their lives only revolve around financial success and worldly achievements. This is idolatry. Many people who were rich with many possessions died miserable, wicked, and sorrowful, and will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. I think of the story of Lazarus, who was rich, but was very selfish and didn't help the poor man. And he went to the lake of fire, and he wished that he could go back and change his ways. Many people will die in that way, sadly. The American dream is what people believe in, the dream of achieving financial success and independence. And make no mistake about it, financial success itself is not bad. But the American dream, which is only striving and working your whole life with the only hope of acquiring more and more possessions, and then you rest on your property and riches and peacefully die while leaving your legacy to the next, is not why Yah created man, as we read in Luke chapter 12. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? because I have no room to bestow my fruits. And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But Elohim said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall these things be, which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself, and is not rich toward Elohim. Yah created us with a purpose, and living out that purpose is the only thing that will bring fulfillment, whether you are rich or not. Material possessions is on the top of the list of idols of the world because majority believe if they get all the possessions their hearts desire, they will be happy, safe, and secure, satisfied, and at peace. But only Yah can do this for us, as we read in Isaiah chapter 58. And if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And Yah shall guide thee continually, and satisfy your soul in drought, and make fat your bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. The rich young ruler believed he was doing everything perfect until Yeshua tried his heart, as we read in Matthew chapter 19, verses 16 to 21. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do, that I might have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is, Elohim. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, Which? Yeshua said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Yeshua said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. The rich young man loved his possessions more than Yah. This is idolatry. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. This is why Yeshua said it would be hard for rich men to enter into the kingdom, not because being rich is wrong, but when people become rich, they pursue more material possessions than they need, and it becomes their idol. Then said Yeshua unto his disciples, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of Elohim. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, Who then can be saved? But Yeshua beheld them and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with Elohim all things are possible. Satan has deceived mankind into believing that our lives revolve only around possessions, fame, money, materialism, and various other things made from the earth. This is idolatry. You were born with a greater purpose. Also, mankind feels they only can worship and believe in their man-made idols because they can see them. This is idolatry.